Welcome to this explainer. Okay, so you know that feeling where you've just dragged yourself out of bed and you've got that heavy, limb dragging brain fog? The kind that makes literally just opening your eyes feel like a monumental physical effort? Well, have you ever woken up after a full 8 hours of sleep only to feel just as physically and mentally exhausted as when your head hit the pillow the night before? It's a completely universal frustration. Today, we're going to unpack exactly why that happens. But more importantly, we're going to explore the fascinating science of how a hidden mechanism in your brain, called the SCN, directly regulates your daily energy. So let's dive into this exact question right off the bat. You did everything right. You got into bed on time. You stayed there for a solid 8 hours. And yet, you're pulling yourself out from under the covers feeling completely drained. It's incredibly frustrating, isn't it? I mean, you're putting in the time, you're following the standard rules of basic sleep hygiene, but you simply aren't getting that restorative reward you expect. And because of that, so many of us get trapped in this brutal daily loop. You down that morning coffee just to push through the first half of your day. Then, by the time the afternoon rolls around, your brain feels like it's wading through wet concrete and your energy completely crashes. But then, strangely enough, at night, right when you're supposed to be winding down and getting sleepy, you suddenly feel totally wired and wide awake. So, what do? You stay up late scrolling on your phone, only to repeat the exact same draining cycle the next day. Basically, our modern habits are actively fighting our biology. To get to the bottom of this, here's our roadmap for the explainer today. We'll start with 1, the daily exhaustion cycle. 2, your brain's master clock. 3, biology confused by modern life. 4, signals that regulate energy. 5, the brain's maintenance window. And finally, 6, a 7-day circadian reset.
All right, section 1, the daily exhaustion cycle. To truly understand how to fix our energy, we have to challenge the assumptions we make every time we wake up feeling tired.
When we're hit with this constant brain fog and low energy, we are so incredibly quick to blame external factors. People blame stress at work, right? Or they blame their age, or they just shrug their shoulders and say, well, I'm just not a morning person. But the truth is, your exhaustion is not a personal failure. What you're actually experiencing is a hidden biological mismatch. Think of it kind of like trying to run advanced modern software on ancient prehistoric hardware. The system is lagging because the inputs just don't match the design. And that mismatch brings us to section 2, your brain's master clock. This is the hidden protagonist responsible for orchestrating your daily energy levels. Deep inside your brain sits a tiny hidden structure called the suprachiasmatic nucleus, or simply the SCN. It's this microscopic cluster of roughly 20,000 highly specialized neurons located right above where your optic nerves cross. Now think of the SCN as your body's ultimate master clock. These neurons are continuously monitoring ambient light to keep your internal biological clocks perfectly aligned with the physical rotation of the Earth. It's amazing. This tiny cluster controls when you feel sleepy, when you feel alert, when you're hungry, energetic, and even how your hormones are released throughout the entire day. And it goes way beyond just sleep. The SCN actually synchronizes nearly every major organ in your body. We're talking your liver function, your heart rhythm, your digestive timing, immune system activity, and even your core body temperature. Literally, every single cell in your body follows a daily rhythm. It helps to think of the SCN as a master conductor standing in front of a massive, complex symphony orchestra. When the conductor leads with precise, clear timing, the orchestra of your body plays beautifully and efficiently. But without that clear direction, when the SCN gets confused, those rhythms drift apart into chaotic noise. Suddenly, everything just feels harder. And over time, this severe misalignment can actually lead to a higher risk of metabolic and cardiovascular problems.
Moving on to section 3, biology confused by modern life. If the SCN is perfectly designed to be this master conductor, how exactly is our biology getting so confused? Well, for pretty much all of human history, our internal clocks were set by one very clear, very predictable thing: the sun. We had incredibly bright morning sun to wake us up and total, unyielding darkness at night to trigger sleep. But our modern signals have completely flipped the script. Today, we wake up indoors. We spend most of our days under flat, low-intensity artificial lighting. We stare at bright melatonin-suppressing screens late into the evening. And we often sleep at totally different times every single night. Basically, our modern environment is actively clashing with our evolutionary biology. To your brain, these mixed modern signals make it incredibly hard to know when it's actually day and when it's night. So I really want to reassure you here, your body isn't broken. It's just confused. Over time, all these artificial inputs continuously delay your internal clock.
which is exactly why waking up and falling asleep can feel like such a massive uphill battle. Which leads us straight into Section 4, signals that regulate energy. Fortunately, we can actually take control of the energy signals we feed our master clock to help the SCN do its job properly. The absolute single most powerful signal for resetting your circadian rhythm isn't some fancy new supplement, it's sunlight. Simply put, morning light tells your body, hey, it's time to be awake. Within literally minutes of seeing natural morning light, specialized photoreceptor cells in your retina, which by the way don't actually process vision, they specifically just detect light intensity, send a direct electrical impulse via the optic nerve straight into the SCN. This immediate signal perfectly regulates the timing of hormones, like spiking cortisol to wake you up and scheduling melatonin to prepare you for sleep later that evening. Depending on the season, just getting 10 to 30 minutes of outdoor light soon after waking makes a massive, measurable difference to your energy. So there's a very specific sequence of inputs you can control to get your energy back on track. Step 1 is getting that morning sunlight exposure. Step 2 is consistent meal timing. It turns out food has a clock too. Every organ in your digestive system has its own peripheral clock. So when you eat a really heavy meal late at night, you're sending conflicting time cues to your liver and pancreas, forcing them into high metabolic gear while your brain is desperately trying to shut down. Step 3 is regular daily exercise, which is another vital timing signal for your muscles and metabolism, though you'll want to avoid super intense workouts right before bed. And Step 4, reducing blue light at night. Now, blue light isn't evil. It's totally essential during the day. But at night, bright screens delay melatonin production and literally trick your SCN into thinking the sun is still up.
Okay, Section 5, the brain's maintenance window. When we finally get these signals right, we unlock something incredible. You see, sleep is not just an off switch, it is a highly active maintenance window. While you're sleeping, your brain actually becomes incredibly busy. It's reviewing the day, meaning memories are actively strengthened and consolidated. Crucial hormones governing growth and appetite are carefully regulated. Metabolic waste products, the stuff that builds up in your brain tissue during waking hours, are cleared out much more efficiently through what's called the glymphatic system. And damaged cells that accumulated microscopic wear and tear during the day are actively repaired. Deep sleep is your body's most valuable recovery period, and poor circadian timing is actively robbing you of this essential restorative work. Finally, let's hit Section 6, a 7-day circadian reset. Let's turn all this science into a highly practical, actionable plan. We can build this day by day to ensure it actually sticks. On day 1, simply focus on waking up at the exact same time and getting outside in the sunlight within the first hour. Our source material actually outlines a full week of these tweaks. Day 2 is about avoiding bright screens the hour before bed. By day 3, you adding eating your meals at consistent times to align your metabolic clocks. Day 4 brings regular exercise into the fold. On day 5, you optimize your physical environment, keeping your bedroom cool, dark, and quiet. Day 6 is limiting caffeine late in the day so it doesn't mask your natural sleep drive. And finally, by day 7, you lock it in and repeat this schedule, yes, even on the weekends. By pacing out these day-by-day adjustments, you smoothly resynchronize your master clock without feeling completely overwhelmed. Because the crucial takeaway here is this: small habits repeated consistently are vastly more powerful than dramatic overnight changes. You absolutely don't need expensive sleep gadgets, and you certainly don't need miracle supplements to fix your energy. You just need consistency with these natural biological signals. When your internal master clock works with you rather than against you, better sleep, better energy, sharper thinking, and dramatically improved daily performance just naturally follow. Your body isn't broken. It's really just trying its absolute best to follow the signals you're giving it. Your circadian rhythm isn't just about sleep. It is the fundamental biological rhythm that influences how you live and how you feel every single day. So, what signals are you giving your body today? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I really hope you start giving your SCN the signals it needs to help you thrive.